The run-over bill is becoming legal in some states. Hello everyone, Jen here, Golden State Times, and today we have a news story. This one comes courtesy of the LA Times, and it says, for months, opponents of the proposed $3.8 billion Dakota Access Pipeline waged protest. They established a prayer camp and strung banners between trees. At times, they blocked roads and construction sites. They faced attacks from dogs, pepper spray, tear gas, rubber bullets, and water sprays that turned to ice on their skin. Dallas Goldtooth, an activist for the Indigenous Environmental Network who helped coordinate the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe month-long protest in North Dakota, said, quote, "We wouldn't have been able to delay construction to this point if it wasn't for us taking to the streets." But a bill introduced last month in North Dakota Legislature could make the obstacles to protest even more formidable. The bill, still in committee, would make it legal for drivers to run over protesters who are standing in a roadway, clearing drivers of any liability, but as long as their action was unintentional. It says that the bill is just one of a raft of new pieces of legislation that have been introduced around the country to discourage or criminalize protest. Even as large demonstration over environmental issues, police shootings, and policies of President Trump have been surging across the country. Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, and Virginia, and Washington are all considering legislation that would variously impose stiffer civil and criminal penalties for protesters and award law enforcement broad discretion in dealing with them. Lee Rowland, a senior staff attorney for the American Civil Liberties Union, said, quote, "We are at a moment of historical protest activity." He went on to say the idea that legislature's response would be penalizing that speech rather than engaging in its conversation is really troubling. The Republican North Dakota State Representative Keith Kepenik said that he introduced House Bill 1203 in direct response to the pipeline protest. He said relatives of his got caught in them while driving on roadways last fall. Kempenik said, quote, "This isn't their issue. If something had happened, they'd wind up being accused of it." Lieutenant Tom Iverson of the North Dakota Highway Patrol said that he wasn't aware of any pedestrian vehicle crashing involving protesters. However, the agency has become aware of protesters blocking roads, and it has closed them down to ensure the safety of both them and the driver. Kampanix said the bill would not allow drivers to target protesters intentionally and that they still have to slow down and see and avoid any potential collision. He said, quote, "I don't see it being applied very often." He also said he supports protesters' right to demonstrate on sidewalks, in ditches, or in road shoulders, but there is a line between protest and terrorism. He said, when a protester comes up the road and challenges a motorist, he said, that's an intentional act of intimidation, the definition of terrorism. For his part, Goldtooth saw the bill as part of a terrifying progression of recent measures. He said, quote, "What it effectively does is allow people to potentially murder another human being simply because they're standing in the public roadway with a sign." Now, the representative that put this bill forth, I think that he's 100% correct. There is no problem with people going out and protesting on the sides of roads with their signs, on sidewalks, peacefully, even if they're angry. Okay, there's some stuff that, yeah, if you don't agree with, you're going to get angry and it's fine. But as long as you keep yourself peaceful and you do not attack those who have different views from yourself, there's a line. that when you start blocking roads, keeping people from getting to where they need to be, going to work or going back home from work, or maybe there's an emergency and they block roadways, he's 100% correct. That is not protest. That is 100% terrorism. Because they're starting to become combative against the motorist. And in most cases, they start attacking the person's property. They start smashing windows, kicking the doors. They start damaging the people's cars just because they're trying to get through. That is textbook terrorism. And I agree with these representatives bringing in this bill, because sometimes what happens is that these people start attacking the car and the people inside, the drivers inside, and the driver and the people also in the car, like their family, they get scared. Especially, let's say if it's a mother with her 2 kids, and all of a sudden these crazy people start coming out of all over the place and start damaging her car. She's going to freak out because she's afraid for her life. She's afraid for the life of her children, and she's going to take off. It's just a natural response. Now, if this bill isn't in place, that woman could be liable if she runs over and kills somebody. But with this bill, what it's going to do is going to protect her. It's going to say, you know what, the reason I took off was because I was so scared that they were actually going to break in and hurt my children and hurt myself. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you agree with these representatives putting this law or this bill forth in the states like what is said. Let's see one more time. The states is Colorado, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Virginia, Washington, and now North Dakota. So if you agree with these representatives putting this bill forward, make sure to click that thumbs up and show your support. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Let us know what you guys think in the comments section below. Give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Check out our previous videos. They should be coming up on the right side of your screen. Click on them. They're interactive. They'll take you to the video you might want to watch. Give it a thumbs up and share it while you're over there. Check out the links in the description below. If you are new to our community, we encourage you to subscribe by clicking the red button below the video or the golden globe that'll be coming up on your screen. We welcome you and hope to see you guys here next time. But until then, peace.